The Artisse 2.0, one of the newest intrasaccular devices on the market, has a few key features you may not be aware of. First, its design stands out with a prominent V-shaped base, giving it a more spherical shape that resembles a single-layer sphere web, as both devices gradually taper in width, narrowing toward both ends of the devices. Second, while the official Artisse sizing chart is optimized for elongated aneurysms, where height exceeds width, most aneurysms we encounter have wider than tall configurations, which are not fully covered by the current official sizing recommendations. Therefore, we'll need to rely on specialized software, such as Siemens Size, to determine the correct sizing in these cases. In today's video, we'll walk you through a simple manual sizing approach for non-cylindrical aneurysms, specifically those with narrow necks that fall outside the official sizing recommendations. Using a real-world case from our own experience, we'll demonstrate how to apply the +1-1 strategy to optimize device selection. This patient arrived at our hospital with an acute subarachnoid hemorrhage caused by a ruptured ACOM aneurysm. After performing a 3D rotational angiography, we measured the aneurysm and found it to have an average width of 5.4 mm, an average height of 5.9 mm, with a slightly spherical shape and a narrow V-shaped neck. Let's take a closer look at the official sizing chart. The blue column on the left represents the aneurysm's diameter, and if we go for the 5.3 mm group, the corresponding height options are still too tall for our aneurysm. The closest match on the chart is 5.3 by 6.3 mm, which recommends a 7 by 3 Artisse device. However, we decided to take a different approach, based on our experience with web sizing, but placing a stronger emphasis on height preservation. Given this aneurysm's non-cylindrical shape and narrow neck, we use the +1-1 strategy, which is widely used for sizing web devices for cylindrical aneurysms. This is because Artisse 2.0 device has a smaller overall volume and tapered dome and base, which aligns naturally to spherical, non-cylindrical morphologies. By taking 1 mm off the aneurysm height, we select a 5 mm tall device and a width of 6.5 mm. In the end, a 6.5 by 5 Artisse, equivalent to +1-1, was successfully deployed through a rebar 18 microcatheter into the aneurysm without any complications. The control run demonstrates significant contrast stasis within the device itself. While we do observe minimal residual filling at the aneurysm neck, this was anticipated given the anatomy. While coil embolization remains a safe and effective option for narrow-necked aneurysms, intrasaccular devices like this offer distinct advantages. As a standalone device, the deployment process is typically more straightforward and significantly faster than conventional coiling, which by itself helps reduce the risk of intraoperative rupture. At 6-month follow-up, the MRA shows persistent occlusion of the treated aneurysm with the stable tiny neck filling. While we are still waiting for a catheter angiogram to confirm the result, the MRI findings are consistent with what we would normally see in aneurysm fully treated with web embolization. To summarize our sizing approach, we tailor our strategy based on aneurysm morphology. For non-cylindrical aneurysms, which inherently have smaller volumes and narrower necks despite similar maximum dimensions, we apply the +1-1 rule. In contrast, we use a +1-0 strategy for cylindrical aneurysms to help the Artisse's sidewall reach the aneurysm neck properly and prevents dog ear formation. These sizing strategies reflect our early experience with the device and will require further validation through larger studies. For a more in-depth technical discussion, please see the video description below or click the link on the screen.